Soul Land Episode 159 Original Novel DouLuo DaLu. Chapter 192. Death God Domain vs Angelic Domain. TL by OWL404. At the thought, Tang San felt enlightened suddenly, and everything before his eyes became clear. He reflected deeply, if Shueqinghe successfully gained the throne of Heaven Do Empire, then what Spirit Hall would do later was to assist Shueqinghe to unify the whole Heaven Do Empire within its border and absorb those kingdoms and duchies. After unifying the whole empire, with the support of Spirit Hall, he would just need a groundless reason to wage war of unification against Star Luo Empire. By then, they could say it was Heaven Do Empire that unified the continent, they could also say that it was the Spirit Hall that unified it. Sure enough, a good strategy. Shueqinghe, seeing Tang San saying nothing, thinking that he had already been moved by him, continued, Tang San, if you are not happy with my poisoning my father, that's not a problem. Although I put my interest first, I still wouldn't go that far. I'm not afraid to tell you, my original name is not Shueqinghe, neither am I the son of Shui yet. In fact, your father is my enemy since he killed my real father. I can even forgive this kind of vendetta, so don't tell me this can't disprove my sincerity. Now that Shueqinghe had said this, Tang San would merely have two choices, the first was to comply, and the second was to risk his life. Since Shueqinghe had said his biggest secret, obviously he hadn't intended to let off the three before his eyes. Whether to kill or subjugate, no third way out. In order to get Tang San's trust, he couldn't consider too much. Sure enough, Shueqinghe's words made Tang San surprised again, and his previous puzzlement also became clear, you are the child of Spirit Hall's former Supreme Pontiff. As Shueqinghe said, his father was his enemy who had killed his father, and in terms of the status he showed in Spirit Hall, a core of Spirit Hall's whole scheme, Tang San guessed his real identity immediately. Shueqinghe smiled proudly, Tang San, I have already removed all the doubts in your heart for you, so tell me your second condition. I think, whether in Spirit Hall or in Heaven Do Empire, my status will be enough to achieve any wish of yours. Tang San breathed deeply, gave a look to DouLuo who had recovered his human appearance, and then looked at Yang Wudi who was standing as straight as a javelin, nodded, my first requirement is to avenge Xiao Wu. And the second is to avenge my parents. My mother died for saving my father and my father was also exiled by his family for Spirit Hall and spent the later half of his life in the sadness of missing my mother. As long as you avenge this vendetta for me, it's nothing of being used by you. Having heard Tang San's word, Shueqinghe's face turned as grey as iron. If the first Tang San's first condition could be called achievable, then the second would be impossible. To avenge this vendetta was to destroy the whole Spirit Hall. How could it be possible? Are you making fun of me? Shueqinghe's fists had already tightened subconsciously. Tang San said calmly, I'm just stating facts. Unfortunately it's impossible for you. Your Highness, Crown Prince. You are a very clever person, but also a naive person. Not all people put their interests first like you. Whether it's my parents' matter or Xiao Wu's matter, how could I compromise with you? Spirit Hall is the enemy of my lifetime. Better broken jade, than intact clay tile. The last words were said resolutely by Tang San. They belonged to his old world. Hearing these words, by his side, whether DouLuo or Yang Wudi, both increased their momentum violently. And at the same moment, behind his back, 8 spider lances with ferocious bloody light had already burst from his body. His answer toward Shueqinghe could be suitably summarized in 4 words. Fight to the death. Because of anger, blue veins on Shueqinghe's neck pulsed fiercely, and his mind was also filled with the wrath which was like terrifying waves and rendered a layer of blue air on his face. A thread of light burst out from his body abruptly, a pure golden light, instantly spreading from his forehead to his whole body. Spirit rings appeared on his body one after another. 2 yellow, 2 purple, 3 black, a total of 7 spirit rings. And then his head was also surrounded by a layer of pure golden light, when his clothes behind his back cracked. 2 pairs of white wings unfolded from his back, and his body slowly floated in midair as if free of the control of gravity, stopping at 1/3 meter from the ground. Washed in the intense golden light, Shueqinghe's eyes also became golden. A huge silhouette whose face couldn't be recognized appeared behind him, and the only difference between him and the golden phantom was the number of wings. The number of wings behind the golden silhouette were 6. Both DouLuo and Yang Wudi's pupils shrunk a little, and DouLuo couldn't help asking Tang San deeply, what's this spirit? As Grand Master's student, Tang San might be one of the people who knew all kinds spirits best in the spirit master's world, so he of course knew what Xue Qinghe's spirit was. He said with a serious face, "This is a legendary spirit, also the top spirit. My teacher said that Seraphim 1 symbolize a spokesperson of God. People who have this spirit will not only have innately full spirit power but even innately rank 20, so they can immediately obtain their second spirit ring once they have the first one. Xue Qinghe is just more than 30 years old, and less than 35, but he is already over rank 70. I'm afraid he is actually the strongest one in the golden generation." Both Snake Lance DouLuo and Porcupine Fish DouLuo had been injured, but in terms of their overall strength, they could still keep in a tie. But once Xue Qinghe who had the super spirit Seraphim was added, the situation would be entirely different. Xue Qinghe was not like the normal spirit masters around them. Tang San could be nearly certain that the Xue Qinghe's strength was absolutely above him. Considering his identity as young master of Spirit Hall, how could he lack all kinds of top-quality spirit master treasures? With his super spirit, because of his unknown strength, it seemed to Tang San that he was even more dangerous than those two-title DouLuo. With the cooperation of two-title DouLuo, there seemed to be no chance to win. 4 wings behind Xue Qinghe unfolded, and his body floated in midair. 2 golden eyes watched Tang San without any emotion. "Tang San, you will pay for what you have said. You should know, with you knowing my secret, I won't let you off. Again, I'll give you a last chance. To swear allegiance, or to be destroyed." 8 spider lances behind Tang San's back lifted him up, and kept him looking at Xue Qinghe horizontally. "I will also answer you again. Fight." Xue Qinghe smiled coldly, "Well, so I give you this chance. Let me experience personally, what extent your strength can reach now." Just after the word settled, a trail of golden flame was dragged behind Xue Qinghe's back and his whole body flew quickly to Tang San like a meteor to strike the moon. Although his speed could not compete with Speed Clan, in the course of his flying, Tang San could clearly sense that he had become unreal. The space around his body seemed to warp slightly so his spiritual force could not pinpoint his accurate location. Splendid golden light, with the gorgeous golden silhouette behind him blossomed simultaneously. A burst of powerful pressure full of sacred aura hit Tang San. The instant Xue Qinghe mobilized, Snake Lance DouLuo and Porcupine Fish DouLuo also released his spirit ability. Both of the two-title DouLuo used their 7th spirit ability without any hesitation, Spirit Avatar. Snake Lance DouLuo pushed the Snake Lance towards the sky, then the spear glistening cyan and purple light actually transformed into a light that covered his body backwards. Immediately, Snake Lance DouLuo disappeared. An ugly cyan and purple huge snake appeared in the midair, which was different from the Jade Phosphor Serpent Emperor of Dougubo, and was 10 meters long, with hexagon scales opening fully standing from his body like thousands of sharp knives. Seeing the spirit avatar of Snake Lance DouLuo, Tang San immediately recalled a kind of spirit variation, Tool Spirit Avatar Beast Soul Transformation. This special kind of spirit avatar possessed both the beast transformation boost of a beast spirit avatar, and the characteristic durability and strength of a Tool Spirit Avatar. Such a spirit avatar was top quality, but would only possibly appear in circumstances of 7th spirit rings of a few special spirit beasts, as well as superb luck. So now, this was the true strength of Snake Lance DouLuo before their eyes. And on the other side, the Porcupine Fish DouLuo also transformed into a huge spined ball in 10 meters diameter. And the injury from before had also recovered thoroughly. Spinning in the midair rapidly, he flew directly in Dougubo's direction. Two-title DouLuo displayed their full strength. This time, Tang San had no ability to assist Dougubo and Yang Wudi. He couldn't target Xue Qinghe, but Xue Qinghe had already targeted him. Layer after layer of golden loops with strange but dulcet sounds covered Tang San directly and no one could recognize which spirit ability was used by Xue Qinghe because of the golden light that surrounded him. At the same time, to Tang San's surprise, this golden light was not only released on Xue Qinghe's body, but also on Snake Lance DouLuo and Porcupine Fish DouLuo's body, thus nearly everything around them was becoming somewhat golden and hazy. Although he hadn't sensed the effect of this golden light, he could be certain that this golden light has the same ability as his Death God domain and Blue-Silver domain. Right, this was Xue Qinghe's innate domain, the special ability of the Super Spirit Seraphim. Facing the threat brought by Xue Qinghe, Tang San's body leaned forward abruptly, and 8 spider lances were inserted into the ground. Now he was fully facing the ground, as if crawling on the ground. The next moment, 8 spider lances bent backwards and sprang up rapidly, pushing Tang San's body soaring to the sky. Simultaneously, Countless blue-silver emperors spread out during his soaring, blossoming into a huge screen of blue-golden splendor, and twisted to Xue Qinghe directly. Since Xue Qinghe's mind was all locked on Tang San, now that Tang San sprang up, under the drawing of the momentum, Xue Qinghe also changed, dashing down into soaring up, catching up with Tang San. Tang San had his reason to change the battlefield to the sky. Every field has its range, whether his Death God domain, Blue-Silver domain, or Xue Qinghe's Angelic domain. Tang San asked himself, in terms of his strength now, the boost that his domain certainly wouldn't work better than Xue Qinghe's Angelic domain to help their companions. Therefore, he needed to get Xue Qinghe to the sky so neither of their domains would have an effect on their battle companions. Snake Lance DouLuo and Porcupine Fish DouLuo were originally injured after all. As far as Dugubo and Yang Wudi's strengths were concerned, at least they wouldn't be at a disadvantage for a while, and as a result, there would be opportunity for their side. Xue Qinghe was also an intelligent person, so he of course understood Tang San's aims, but he still chased after him. He had an absolute confidence in himself. Although he thought highly of Tang San's potential, Tang San was more than 10 years younger than him, and his own talent was also no worse than Tang San. The gap of 10 years was not that easy to offset merely relying on hard work. As long as he killed Tang San, Dugubo and Yang Wudi were nothing at all. Also, he wanted to test his real strength by defeating Tang San. Having endured for years, and hiding his true strength by Spirit Hall's secret methods, the scheme finally came to the point to carry out. He felt impatient to display his real strength. Golden rings of light spread abruptly, forming ripple after ripple of splendid halos and pushed away Tang San's descending blue-silver emperors. Xue Qinghe cut into frontally, with 4 wings spread behind his back, and shot towards Tang San like a golden meteor. Seeing the growing golden color before him, Tang San didn't feel any fear, just moving directly towards him and releasing his ability of the left leg bone of blue-silver emperors, flight. In Xue Qinghe's information about Tang San, there was little documentation about his ability to fly, which just gave a simple description of 8 Spider Lance's jump ability. So seeing Tang flying towards him, he couldn't help feeling somewhat surprised. The first spirit ring flashed, the golden halo on his body immediately converged on his right fist. And a punch was abruptly swung at Tang San. The congealed golden light looked like a big round shield, smashing into Tang San's body. Tang San breathed deeply, and both his hands changed into jade color. The mysterious heaven skill was operating rapidly within his body, with blue golden light flame and profuse spirit power emitting from the hands. Controlling crane catching dragon burst out, without using spirit abilities, just facing the golden light shield released by Xue Qinghe. With a hong sound, 2 silhouettes separated quickly after a brief collision. Xue Qinghe's charge halted, swaying in midair, while Tang San was struck backwards and flew for at least 30 meters before he managed to control his body, qi and blood roiling within him. Via this direct collision, Tang San immediately sensed that Xue Qinghe's spirit power was extremely special. The instant he collided with him, a kind of warm sense entered into his body from the opponent's spirit power, and his mysterious heaven skill force actually seemed to have a sign to melt under the warm sense full of sacred aura, being repressed so that it could not show its full effect. Clearly, the super spirit seraphim not only had an innate domain, but its spirit power also had a special attribute, and Xue Qinghe's first spirit ability was just to concentrate this special attribute spirit power. Xue Qinghe had another kind of impression. Even though he had struck Tang San away, he also felt that Tang San's spirit power was honest and mild, like the vast energy between heaven and earth, especially the moment they hit together, it produced a kind of special shocking force, forcibly breaking apart his attack that was originally like a vast river. It seemed like Tang San got the absolute worst of this collision, but in fact he didn't suffer any actual injury. Especially his hands seemed sculpted by jade, and were extraordinarily hard, as if they could tear apart his energy attacks with pure physical strength. A thin light flashed, a somewhat chilling expression appeared on Tang San's face. Xue Qinghe was even stronger than he thought. He could cope with normal spirit DouLuos frontally, but facing Xue Qinghe, a spirit sage who was only more than rank 70, he had no certainty. The fight on the ground also began. Yang Wudi and Dugubo changed their places mutually, and released their spirit avatar simultaneously. Yang Wudi faced Porcupine Fish DouLuo while Dugubo faced the snake incarnated from Snake Lance DouLuo. Cyan Purple Double-Headed Snake faced the Jade Phosphor Serpent Emperor which was even larger than he, while the Soul-Breaking Lance with intensified black flame faced the huge spined ball. The fight between Dugubo and Snake Lance DouLuo was all physical. Although the avatar of Dugubo, the Jade Phosphor Serpent Emperor, had a larger size. The moment they hit together, he lost out. 2 tongues of the cyan-purple double-headed giant snake sprung from its mouths like 2 sharp swords, leaving 2 deep injuries on the Jade Phosphor Serpent Emperor's body. The emerald green scales of the Jade Phosphor Serpent Emperor couldn't impede its tongues, which even sharper than swords. The Jade Phosphor Serpent Emperor's mouth had already bitten at the opponent's body, but just left a layer of trail and couldn't hurt the cyan-purple double-headed huge snake. Even the extreme toxin of the Jade Phosphor Serpent Emperor merely produced a slight corrosive effect on its skin. The hardness of Snake Lance DouLuo's spirit avatar was actually even above the Jade Phosphor Serpent Emperor. Whether the Snake Lance DouLuo or Porcupine Fish DouLuo, they were specially arranged by Xueqinghe to deal with DouLuo, so they naturally had extremely strong defense to his toxin. However, it was not an easy job for cyan-purple double-headed huge snake to defeat the Jade Phosphor Serpent Emperor in a short time. He was injured from before after all. After realizing his spirit was restrained, DouLuo changed his attack into continuously spitting venom and poisonous mist to deal with the opponent, while his body circled round into a snake form when he could use his hardest head to collide with the opponent. On the other side, the capability and strength of Porcupine Fish DouLuo were far above Yang Wudi, but Yang Wudi's attack was just too sharp. And he had to devour toxin spouted by DouLuo, in case it would hurt the other spirit masters on the side. The huge spined ball he incarnated into collided with Breaking Soul Lance continuously, which also resulted in a tie. In this level of fight, both of them wouldn't easily put all their eggs in one basket. If they used the last spirit ability to hit the opponent, they would both be injured. Therefore, under the condition that they had sufficient spirit power, this gradually became a protracted war. Even though the two confronting each other in midair were the weakest in spirit power, their fight was undoubtedly the key point of this battle. If Tang San won, even though they were in the Imperial Palace, they would have opportunity to escape. But if Xueqinghe won, without question, all 3 of them would die because of the secrets they had heard. 8 spider lances spread out from his back. Tang San breathed deeply, relying on the mighty killing aura of Death God Domain to forcefully drive away the special purifying melting effect of the angelic spirit power within his body. What was strange, Tang San's direct and mild mysterious heaven skill could do nothing to the angelic spirit power's purification. But the moment Death God Domain appeared, it seemed to just restrain Angel's spirit power, immediately making the sticky effect of purification disappear entirely. Tang San quickly understood, the spirit power of Angel should be pure sacred energy, while his Death God Domain had a kind of forceful killing aura which was diametrically opposite. If Angel spirit power was said to be just, then his Death God Domain was evil. Justice and evil unable to coexist, restricting each other mutually was the natural consequence. Just like his Death God Domain also couldn't affect the sacred aura of the opponent's purification effect of angelic domain couldn't affect him either. Xueqinghe smiled coolly, what a Death God Domain! What Hulina uses is actually the same as you. Maybe you have noticed, your Death God Domain contradicts my angelic domain mutually. Unfortunately, what you can't know, is that the true awakening of innate domains is only after possessing the 7th spirit ability, Spirit Avatar. Without Spirit Avatar, your innate domain can just have some supporting effect. Only with the Spirit Avatar, can domain's effect be displayed fully. Even though your domain is at the same class as mine, the gap in rank cannot be offset. Let me show you, the true might of the angelic domain. Saying this, the 7th spirit ring on his body flashed with a dense black color. Black and golden, 2 completely different lights mixed together, and then the black spirit ring seemed to be assimilated, transforming into golden in the process of being released. Crystalline golden light, the phantom behind Xueqinghe's back moved forward quietly, while Xueqinghe himself overlapped with the phantom quickly. Including his skin and hair, were all rendered purely golden. The clothes on his body disappeared in the purification of that golden light. Splendid golden light flame packed his whole body, just like an immortal. Even the other 6 spirit rings on his body were rendered golden at that moment. On the 2 pairs of pure white wings behind Xueqinghe's back, the golden color spread from the root, then to the tip of each feather. With a cracking sound, a pair of wings unfolded again behind his back. The original features of Seraphim disappeared entirely in the 7th spirit ability Spirit Avatar's effect. Then Xueqinghe's imposing manner suddenly swelled, as if to cover the sky and earth. After releasing his Spirit Avatar, the pressure he brought to Tang San was absolutely no less than a tidal DouLuo. According to Grandmaster's 10 core competences, the intensification of Spirit Avatar was a direct ratio of Spirit's own quality. That is, the higher the quality of Spirit, the more intensification it would have after releasing one's spirit avatar. Therefore the higher the spirit was, the more meaningful to have 7th spirit ability, since only after having spirit avatar could the real might of spirit be displayed. In Tang San's past battles, the most powerful spirit avatar he came across was undoubtedly the Clear Sky Hammer. But that elder of Clear Sky clan just used 40% of his real strength, which wasn't the full might of the Clear Sky Hammer's spirit avatar. Nevertheless back then Tang Hao forced more than 5 titled DouLuos of Spirit Hall to face the opponent simultaneously by his own force, which demonstrated the might of that spirit. But the quality of the Seraphim spirit before his eyes was absolutely no lower than Clear Sky Hammer, so the amplification was undoubtedly extremely dreadful. Xue Qinghe stretched his arms out to either side, like a cross hanging in midair, raising his head, with a dulcet whistle from his mouth. Suddenly, the golden light on his body spread out with a speed that was difficult to perceive with the naked eye. In just an eye blink, it had already covered a range of several thousand square meters in the sky. Tang San was directly covered in, and everything around him suddenly turned golden, secretly shocking Tang San. But at this moment, he knew he couldn't panic. This should be the true effect of angelic domain in spirit avatar, the real angelic domain Xue Qinghe spoke of. Within the golden light, Tang San first felt a strong pressure from all directions. His senses were restricted to a narrow range, such that even his spiritual force probes could only cover 5 meters around him. His entire being seemed to be brought to another world, whose ruler was Xue Qinghe. The sensation of spirit power melting appeared again, forcing Tang San to have to release his Death God domain immediately. The Death God domain and Angelic domain mutually restrained each other, so who could overwhelm the opponent depended on their respective strength. Obviously, in terms of domain, Tang San now couldn't compete with Xue Qinghe in any case. The Death God domain was restricted to Tang San's skin by the powerful sacred aura, and narrowly maintained his spirit power free from purification. But its intensifying effect had already disappeared thoroughly. Tang San's eyes lighting, through the purple demon eye, his spiritual force released without holding back. The effect of the mind-condensing wisdom skull bone displayed at this moment. After Tang San fully used purple demon eye, the scope that his spiritual force could detect amplified from 5 meters to about 50 meters, and purple demon eye also helped him detect narrowly around his body in 100 meters, barely recognizing objects. Feel the gap between us. Tang San, this is my domain, I'm the ruler here. Having come here, even title DouLuo can only guarantee they can withdraw in one piece. All of you, is already completely under my control. To be frank, I really do admire you. Your future accomplishments won't be below mine. Therefore, I'm willing to give you another last chance. I really don't have the heart to smother a genius like you. Only geniuses like us will understand how grand each other are, don't you think? Hearing Xue Qinghe's voice, Tang San tried his best to sense his exact location, but it was futile. The effect of the angelic domain before him was too powerful. Although he could use his spirit bones and purple demon eye to try to enhance his sensory ability, compared usual, it was still greatly impaired. Especially the golden light with a sacred aura which the domain teamed with, made him consume his spirit power and spiritual force rapidly in order to support the Death God domain. If he could not break this domain, then Xue Qinghe even didn't need to attack, just keep controlling him like this, and Tang San would lose and die due to exhausting his spirit power. Of course, Tang San also knew, Xue Qinghe who had released spirit avatar and angelic domain was also consuming his spirit power very rapidly. He wouldn't compete with him in attrition. I've already answered you. The outcome still isn't settled, if you have the capability, you can just kill me. Saying that, 8 spider lances behind Tang San's back bent slightly, protecting his back, the 5th and 6th spirit rings lighting simultaneously. Blue golden light concentrated on his right arm, a 3-meter blue-silver overlord spear connected with his arm, and meanwhile, all of Tang San became unreal, exactly the effect of the 100,000-year 6th spirit ring's spirit ability, nothingness. If rank of spirit power could be said to be Xue Qinghe's advantage, then the 100,000-year spirit ability was Tang San's advantage. 100,000-year spirit ability? Let me see, how much of its effect your 100,000-year spirit ability can produce in my angelic domain. Suddenly, around Tang San's body, the golden light of angelic domain instantly grew denser, as if bogging him down in a golden quagmire, slowing his movements. At a slight spiritual force fluctuation, Tang San reacted nearly in the first second. 8 spider lances protecting his body, and blue-silver overlord lance by right side of his body was thrust forward, not releasing it, but serving as weapon to thrust into the direction he had perceived. A strong golden silhouette flew above Tang San's body, and Tang San astonished discovered, whether his 8 spider lances or blue-silver overlord lance, neither had struck the opponent's body. Moreover, the golden silhouette that flew above him brought to him a kind of dizzy feeling. Even though he was in the state of nothingness, his spirit power and spiritual force still decreased a great deal. In fact, in the state of nothingness, Tang San was immune to physical attack, and any form of energy attack, including spiritual force, would be decreased by 50%. The attack Xueqing he released was actually similar to his nothingness, but where Tang San's nothingness laid particular stress on defense, whereas Xueqing he's unreal silhouette stressed attack. Yi. Truly deserving to be called 100,000-year spirit ring, it really has some special ways. Even my second evolved spirit ability, angelic descent, cannot defeat you. It seems I have to be a bit jealous of you. However, this is not enough. The golden light on his right arm restrained, having found that blue-silver overlord lance made no effect in this situation, Tang San immediately withdrew the spirit ability that consumed a large amount of his spirit power, and gathered his spirit power inwardly. Spiritual force fluctuations appeared again, this time much faster than before. With the experience of the last time, Tang San finally caught that silhouette relying on his purple demon eye. As he judged before, in his own domain, Xueqing he had already transformed into phantom and ran into him. What was different was that there was a long sword in his hand this time, completely made of golden flame, without a substantial body, making Tang San's heart shake, and carried a formidable energy fluctuation. This was a pure energy form attack, so even though the state of nothingness enhanced his resistance by 50%, Tang San absolutely didn't dare collide head-on with him. What made Tang San suffer was that he couldn't see which spirit ring was released on the opponent's body at all. That is, he had no idea which ability he should use in response. The timing Xueqing he chose was undoubtedly extremely well chosen, just after Tang San retrieved blue-silver overlord lance, and too late to release it again. 8 spider lances was a physical attack, with which it was very difficult to block such pure energy form attack. In addition to that, the angelic domain amplified him by 30%. Even though he couldn't weaken Tang San by 30% because of Tang San's death god domain, this was already sufficient. His power was fundamentally above Tang San's. Within such a true domain, both Tang San's sense and reaction had become much slower. If Xueqing he's first attack was a probe, then this attack was a heavy strike he prepared for Tang San, also a strike to establish his superiority. Even if it couldn't defeat Tang San in one strike, it would at least injure him heavily. 1 Seraphim, 6-winged heavenly envoy. It finish here. Remember subscribes if you have not. Likes, comments and shares my friend. Wrong will like you.